horrible thing for me to talk over, huh? I'm really sorry about that. Hi, I'm Blackjack. Welcome to E3. It was starting right as I
If you've been
came
a fan
on.
of Nintendo over the years, you'll know that the Nintendo experience
I
is
have this
different at every E3. We always look
checklist
for the
going
best
up
way
here,
to introduce our most important content. And this
provided
year
you're
is
able
no
to see
different.
the Sun
And
and Moon
that's why we're
bingo.
coming to you directly from our show booth on the set of Nintendo Treehouse Live. On the other side of the wall behind me, the finishing touches
Supposed to
are
have just a
being
screen
made before
capture
we
up, but
open
I
it
don't know
up
if you can
to
actually see it.
thousands of industry insiders in just a couple of hours. That space will immerse visitors in the world of a single game, the newest entry. Is an entirely new format for a Zelda game.
Reggie, you're frozen in place. Nothing's working this morning. Usually I have time to do setup, but the second Twitch loaded, it started going, so I am super duper sorry about this. I know there's a whole bunch of people going on the site right now. I'm going to see if I can get anything else to show up. Okay, yeah, I see a little bit of Link there, standing in a field with some trees. And it's not moving. Okay, I hear horses, but all I'm getting is a still image. Okay, Link just jumps on a random one. What is going on? What is wrong with this goddamn computer? I know this thing isn't top of the line, but it should be able to handle something like a recording. What did you say that just said offline? You are not offline. I'm getting a frame rate of like 1 here. I might have to hold off and watch all this later. This is just unforgivable. Can anyone help me? Tell me what the hell is going on with this computer? It's already heating up like crazy. It's only been on for like 20 minutes. Well, half an hour at this point. Legend of Zelda, what's the new name? What's the new name? Tell me the new name! Oh my god! Okay, I'm getting a frame rate of like 1 every 20 seconds. Breath of the Goddess? Breath of the Wild. This is an unusual name for a Zelda game, but I like the little flowers there. Oh my god. This is the worst frame rate I've ever had, and I include when I played Final Fantasy IX. That wasn't even
The
online.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild introduces you to a Hyrule that is truly seamless, where simply moving from one place to another begins to create what may be the adventure of a lifetime.
Oh my god!
And not only is this new world vast, but it feels alive. It teems with adventure. Throughout Link's quest, Hyrule will be a resource, an ally, an enemy, and always a place for discovery and wonder. This is easily one of the biggest experiences ever created by Nintendo. And today, you're going to get a close-up look. The portion of the game we're highlighting at
You know, any one
E3,
of these could be reaction images. I guess if
the
there's one good thing about
wide-ranging
this. This is unforgivable! Okay, I'm just gonna close that. I'm gonna just reopen. Oh! This just... I cannot figure out why... I know, you came here to see me talk about video games, and instead of complaining about this stupid, worthless computer. Well, I can't watch anything about video games unless this stupid, worthless computer... Clicky clicky. You can't even... It's not even showing you what I'm looking at. It's supposed to show you the whole screen that I'm looking at. But it's not. Okay, let me go to add source. Screen capture. Oh, fantastic. Now you can't even get me in there. I don't know, it's like it's all tiled almost all the time. But you can't drag files out to be on top. You have to manually re-put them in. I even clicked on, come on, YouTube E3. Of course, recover web page isn't working. Who knows what goodies I'm missing right now. You know what? I don't even need to start up my web page. I just need to see these videos. Just take me straight there. You know, here I thought I'd have a lot of nice natural light and all of that good stuff, but no. It washes me out like crazy. My internet isn't working. I get a frame rate of 0. It's more like I'm listening to a radio presentation than anything else. At least I have Rainier cherries. If you guys play Animal Crossing, these are perfect cherries. Seriously, these are the best cherries you will ever eat. Something's going right today. Yes, this is what I would like to watch. Let me click on it. What? I don't know if you can see this, but the mouse. Oh, there it goes. Finally. So the mouse is disappearing every time it got close to the full screen button.
This is shaving. Blades here, blades there, some over there. Oh,
What?
that's not a blade. This
This
shielding.
again on a
With
live
lubrication
broadcast?
before and after the blades. Shields from irritation for a close, comfortable shave. The new Pro Shield from Gillette.
Just from the footage there. The first thing I'd like to actually ask you is if you could tell us a little bit more about the background of why you went with Sun and Moon as the titles for these games.
Oh my god! Where'd it go?
まずはそうですね、サンとムーンのタイトルについて由来をちょっと教えてもらえますか。
はい。私たちの住んでいるこの地球っていうところには生き物がたくさんいるわけですけども、その中でその生き物に対してとても影響がある。そのコアとなっているものっていうのは太陽と月っていうのは非常に大切なものだと思うんですね。で今回はその、生命を、より魅力的に見せていきたいっていう思いもあって、その一番影響のあるもの、サンとムーンっていうのをタイトルにしました。
So there's a variety of meanings behind the titles, but one of the main things is that, for example, for here on Earth, obviously, the sun really is the source of all life on this planet, and in the same way in the Pokemon world, it's also the source of life on the planet, and the moon also affects all of our lives here as well. And with this game, we really wanted to express this kind of feeling of a region really teeming with life, so we felt that Sun and Moon would be an appropriate title for the games.
I think especially thinking about these big elemental forces, Sun and the Moon, we also need to talk about those legendaries that are on the packaging, because I think folks are going to really want to hear a little bit more about what they can expect from those Pokemon.
そうです太陽とかっこいい伝説のポケモンについて、話してもらえますか。
そうですね。サンに出てくる、ソルガレオっていうのは太陽の使者で、ムーンの方のルナーナは月の使者として伝えられているんですけども、今まで、以上に物語自体にかなり、関係してくる2匹になりますんで、楽しみに。
This is weird though, aren't they supposed to do this big stage presentation?
Say that Solgaleo and Lunala are the emissaries of the sun and the moon, respectively. And these two legendary Pokemon actually, they kind of play a unique role. They tie into the story in a unique way that we really haven't done with pairs of legendary Pokemon before. So I think fans would be really excited about it.
I think there's a really interesting spiritual element that we get in these games. I won't talk about that too much yet because I want to save you some surprises. But on the subject of legendaries, I know you recently had an event in Taiwan where you revealed some news about another legendary Pokemon folks remember from XY and what they might expect from that Pokemon in these games. We can maybe talk about that a little bit too.
ちょっと伝説ポケモンの話で、先日ちょっと台湾で、XY に登場した伝説ポケモンについてのニュースっていうのをちょっと発表されたと思うんですけども、それちょっと話してもらえますか。
そうですね。いよいよ10% ジガルデとパーフェクトジガルデが、サンムーンに登場するというお知らせが、出ました。
That in the middle doesn't count as a Hawaiian shirt.
今回
That's on my checklist.
活躍するっていうのがポイントかなと思います。
So, Zygarde, Pokemon that one of the legendary Pokemon that appeared in originally in Pokemon X and Y. It just recently showed off their the 10% form and complete form in the games, and these Pokemon these forms will appear in Pokemon Sun and Moon, kind of in a special way that I think people will be excited about.
Oh, they look so cool. And actually, here since we're looking at a little bit of the Alola region in the background, this is probably a good chance to talk maybe in a little bit more detail about the Alola region and what players can maybe expect there.
今回冒険の舞台となるそのアローラ地方について、これどんな地方なのかっていうのをちょっと教えてもらえますか。
Woman at the back there. Did she know she's on camera?
アローラ地方なんですけども、他の陸地とつながっていない、地方となっています。なので、
Seems like she's doing the, but
固有
that's
の
none
ポ
of
ケ
my
モンが
business.
住んでいます。 アローラ地方っていう名前なんですけども、名前の由来としては、命を育むで、命を育み生命力にあふれる大地。
I mean, when it's still images, it's fine, but
so the Alola region, as you can see, is made up these 4 islands. It has a man-made island as well, but it's really this region that's just like teeming with life, and that's actually behind the name of the region itself. We have this meaning of kind of region like a miraculous region overflowing with this life force that can support all this different life. And,
Yeah, I think it's really interesting since it's not connected to any of the other regions. You've got this really interesting area of isolation, and we're seeing all these Pokemon that nobody's ever run into before, and it's almost kind of feels like the Galapagos Islands, where you've got this really interesting remote area where all these other creatures are popping up, and you've got new Pokemon.
But
really
it's Hawaii. You don't need to compare it to the Galapagos.
つながってないので、こういろんな変わった生命がたくさん登場するんじゃないかなというふうには思ってるんですけども、
そうですね。期待しててください。
Yeah, I think people will be surprised. There's some cool things to see in there.
Yeah, I've been playing it, working. I'm very excited. Get a look at it.
会場でちょっと遊んでるんですけど、やっぱこう楽しみにできるものは多いと思います。はい。
And actually, since we're talking about new Pokemon, is there anything more that you can tell our viewers about the 3 starters that they'll be choosing from in this game?
今回の最初のパートナーとなった3体のポケモンなんですけれども、これにこの3体について教えてもらえますか？
そうですね。もうどの3体ももう可愛いんですけども、今回特に動きについてすごく意識して作ってまして、バトル中だったりとか、いろんな時にこう動きが可愛くなるようなデザインとして作られています。
So of course they're all very cute, but one of the things they're really focused on with these 3 in particular is making their movements really cute when they're represented in the game. Like for example in battle and other parts in the game, you see them moving around and they're really cute, kind of make you want to reach out and touch them almost.
あとやっぱりこう世界中の人が見て、こう分かりやすいデザインであったりとか、
Most of it has kind of some fish lips going on. Let's just put that out there.
草タイプだったらグリーンが入っていたりとかっていうその分かりやすさっていうのをやっぱり最初の3匹は大事にしています。
And another thing we always pay attention to or really focus on with the initial Pokemon that you choose for your partner is making them kind of universally relatable, so people from around the world will be able to look at these Pokemon and relate with them very easily, and also very easy to understand. Like for example, the grass type Pokemon is going to be green, obviously, so being careful with the colors.
I think what folks have seen already from the animations that we've shown in a little bit of video footage we've been able to share, they have a lot of personality. I actually picked Poplio because I'm a hardcore water starter fan. My first was a Squirtle, and I've stuck with them. But I've been having a great time so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other folks pick when I get into the starters as well.
Poplio fans represent, huh? I mean, I'm gonna go with Rowlet, but I like them all.
And it's interesting actually what you talked about with the design of the starter Pokemon, and I think they also really fit nicely in with the kind of tropical climate and environment we've got, and I know that's something that you worked in with the design of the player characters as well this time around.
今回南の国っていうような設定になってて、アニメの
I wonder what their default names are.
今回の主人公のデザインもそれを意識されている部分ありますか？
そうですね。やっぱり暖かい国っていうのを表現する、地方ですね、表現するためにかなり軽装にしています。
So yeah, obviously the region this time, the climate there is extremely warm, so we wanted to make sure that the characters, the designs were more lightly dressed than maybe other designs have in the past.
I think fans will notice the proportions are different, especially when we get into gameplay in a couple seconds here. They're going to see it's a little different how they're used to seeing their characters in the game.
New gameplay.
今回ちょっとこの後キープレイを見せるんですけれども、ちょっとあれですね、頭身がちょっと変わったっていう話ですよね。
そうですね。よりこう没入感高めと思って頭身上がってますね。今回。
So yeah, we changed the proportions this time to be more realistic. We really wanted to kind of increase this sense of immersion, and I think you'll see that when we get into the game.
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about this yet, but sharp-eyed viewers probably noticed that both of those pieces of art, there was an interesting bracelet that the players were wearing. I don't know if we can, probably can't talk about that just yet.
喋れないかも、あんまり話せないかもしれないですけど、すごい目の鋭い人は腕輪みたいなものってつけてるんですけど。
ありました。ありました。
For later time, maybe we can talk about that. But I think we probably.
E3 is for new information, you dimwit.
Jump in and show some gameplay.
I'm excited for this.
Haven't given us anything new so far, so you had better.
As we get into gameplay here, this game is still in development, so folks, everything you see here might not be exactly what you're going to see in the final release of the game, but I think we can give you a really good sense of.
Why did they give us this template? Like the idle animation, huh?
そうですね。こんな早い段階で実はライブでも行うのは初めてで、 どんなポケモンが出るかっていうのもちょっと世界初公開のポケモンも登場するかもしれないんでちょっとドキドキします。
A ditto pillow.
This is actually the first time for us to show a Pokemon game at this stage in development, kind of via live gameplay. So, not really sure exactly what we're going to encounter in this. We may see some all-new Pokemon that haven't been revealed before.
Oh, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. That'd be really cool. Actually, as we get started here, Masuda-san and Mori-san, can you tell us a little bit about the story and the background of what's going on right now in the game?
今ここで主人公は何をしている場面になるんでしょうか。
そうですね。主人公は
Did I see another
方に引っ越してきたばかり
door back
という
there?
設定になっています。
Does your mom have her own room this time?
少し進めていまして、最初のポケモンはすでに
Oh, a
出て
garage.
います。で今からリリータウンというところでお祭りが開催されるので、そこに向かうところです。
So at this point in the game, it's a little bit slightly into it, but it's the player actually had just moved to the Alola region the other day, and one day previous to where we are in the game, he had received his first partner Pokemon for his adventure. And right now we're actually on the way to a neighboring town where there's a festival.
Oh.
And I think here we can see what we were talking about earlier. Oh, you're just jumping into the long grass.
Come on, give us a new reveal. Give us a reveal. Hopefully. Oh.
びっくりする。レディはですね、アローラ地方には
Why do they give us these templates? Just, I like that bottom screen. I like that it shows the Pokemon. But you know,
今回トレーナーとポケモンっていう
these proportions are just
トレーナーが一緒に
ridiculous.
ポケモンの後ろにいるっていうところを再現してますね。
And as you can probably see here in battle, you see the trainer is actually standing behind the Pokemon in the battle. So we really wanted to express this feeling of the trainer always being with his or her Pokemon.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that in a little bit more detail here.
I like
Because
that
there's
music.
so much that you've done with the way the battle looks in this game to make it feel really intense and really immersive. I was wondering if we could talk a little bit more about that with what you did with the lighting and the dynamic camera angles here.
やっぱ没入感を高めるっていう話もちょっと出てきたんですけども、やっぱ今回すごい演出とか見た目が違ってて、光の表現とかもありますね。
そうですね。ちょっと時間によって影が長くなったりとかっていうのも入ってたりしますね。
So yeah, there's some cool lighting effects that we're doing here. Where, for example, like
There's a flat base,
in the
geez.
evening right now, so it's a bit longer. But depending on the time of day, the lighting will kind of affect the mood of the battle.
I think here Terry's kind of staying still for a second to let us see how the camera is moving around. And this is something that'll just happen for you if you're staying still in the battle for a moment, and you really get a good chance
We
to
had
get a
that
look at
last
the
gen.
Pokemon and the area that you're in and the environment.
まあこうやって一回テリー今止まってくれてるんですけど、
I don't know if they had that
カメラ
wide
の演出を見せたりとか、結構やっぱこういうかっこいいカメラの演出があって、すごいこうバトルフィールドの全体を見渡せるような感じになってますね。
今回カメラもすごいダイナミックさっていうのを非常に意識して演出を入れていますね。
So yeah, there's definitely some cool. We tried to make the camera feel really dynamic in the battles this time around.
And actually, as Terry gets started in the battle here, I was wondering if we could talk a little bit more about the different changes you've made to the battle interface. I know there's a lot here that's really interesting, which makes the game really accessible to new players. Maybe this is their first Pokemon game, but it's also, I think, really satisfying as someone who's played a lot of Pokemon games. It feels really good, the changes that you've made here.
Oh, okay. LNA or move info, I was thinking because it was Y previously, but Y seems to be linked to the Pokeballs.
そうですね。今回とても親切なというか説明がいろいろ入れています。例えばインフォメーションボタンがあるんですけども、そちらをタッチすると今その技がどんな技かというのを一目で分かるようになっています。
So for example, yeah, we really tried to focus on making it really accessible and easy to understand. You saw in the moves there, Terry just pressed the little I button. The
Target is physically found with a long tail, a foreleg, or the like.
I think it's been so helpful. There are just so many Pokemon that you have to keep in mind now as you're battling. It's so nice to be able to pull it up, and if maybe you don't quite remember what something does, being able to just pop it up really fast there, it's like you don't have to use that information, but if maybe your memory's not as good as it used to be and you need it, it's so nice to be able to pull that up and take a look.
ちょっとこの技はどういう効果があるんだっけみたいな、ちょっと忘れてもらって
そうですね。
できるようになって大丈夫ですね。
例えば今レディバの方をタッチしてもらいますと、今どんな状態かというのが分かるようになっています。
So actually, you can see you can tap on the 2D Pokemon icon that's up the touch screen and see how its parameters actually just got changed because of the effect of a move.
今まで全部覚えてなきゃいけなかったんですけど、これで一目で分かるようになっています。
So as you just said, like a lot of things that you had to keep in your head, you had to remember before, are now visualized on the interface itself.
That's cool.
Alright, let's see how this battle goes. Are you planning on trying to capture this
I'm going to begin my
Pokemon,
quest to
or-
catch them all.
Okay, good luck.
全部捕まえないと。
捕まえて捕まえて。
Yeah, get it. You can do it, I think.
So, just to bring up real quickly, for folks who maybe haven't played a Pokemon game before, battling Pokemon is really at the core of what the series is all about. You're going out into the world with your Pokemon, battling. Oh, this is the most stressful moment.
Yay! I can't believe Lettyba is the first Dex entry we're going to
Really
see.
interesting game if you're interested in battle and strategy and in collecting all these really interesting Pokemon that you meet. And hopefully you leveled up. Good job. And it was nice there too, seeing how the level up change.
ちょっとあれですね、レベルアップの演出もちょっと変わりましたね。
そうですね。
Oh, and this is actually something that we should talk about as well. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about what they're seeing on the upper screen
これ
here?
今ちょっと図鑑に登録されたんですけども、これちょっと違う感じがありますね。
そう
比べて
ですね。今回図鑑の遊びとして埋めたくなるっていう要素をすごく書き立てるようにしました。で、
Are we gonna see its Dex entry?
実はあそこが空きスペースになっていて、例えばその捕まえたポケモンの進化後か、それとももしかしたらペアとなるポケモンが出てくるかもしれないっていう風に演出しています。いろいろこうどんなポケモンがいるんだろうって考えながら育てたり捕まえたりしてほしいなと思います。
So one of the things we wanted to do with the Pokedex this time was really encourage players to, again, really want to catch them all, really fill up the Pokedex. And one way we've done that, as you can see, there's the Ladybug just got registered, but next to it is a white Pokeball icon. And what that does, it indicates there's an empty space, which means that either it has an evolution or maybe there's another Pokemon out there that kind of forms a pair with it. So that'll kind of encourage players really to fill up that empty
Okay, I
space
thought that was a background
catch all
decoration.
different types of Pokemon and kind of complete their Pokedex.
Yes, especially exciting, I think, when you find one and there's lots of.
They're
like,
timid and
Pokeballs.
growing easy,
Oh,
something,
okay.
something, something,
You've got a
spot.
lot of work to do.
白いモンスターボールがあるとやっぱこう捕まえたくなり
そう
ますよね。
ですね。あ、
So
次
次
さあ次は
Give us something new. Show us something new. Show us a new species.
Oh, nice.
Yungoos.
これは新ポケモンですね。
We actually have a new reveal.
です。いつもお腹を空かしていて、お腹が減っていくとこう怒りっぽくなっちゃうっていうポケ
So
モンらしい
it's a mongoose.
So, as you can see, this is the new Pokemon called Young Goose. It's always hungry, so it's always getting hungry and then so it's hungry for food. But whenever it's hungry, it also gets very
Got a
aggressive.
face like a
I love
food
his
dog.
face. It's so
衝撃
cute.
ですね。
I like the colors. I feel kind of bad for it though. I feel like you just throw it a bag of chips or something and it'd be like, thank you.
かわいそうですね。ちょっと餌をあげていただけてもいいんじゃない
おお
Oh, it's
いい
close.
感じですね。
Oh, getting close there.
もう捕まるんですか。
You'll probably be able to catch this one.
We're on our way.
Good luck.
That's two.
What an unusual looking thing.
Yeah, this is always like the most stressful seconds in any Pokemon player's life. Just the,
揺
oh.
れがいつもそうですね。
Nice. And actually, this will give us a chance to maybe take a look at the Pokedex. We've got a new Pokemon to check out. So we've got some
You're not
interesting
gonna-
changes coming to the Pokedex in this game. Can you tell us a little bit more about what fans can expect from the new Pokedex?
You're not gonna show us the-
変わった感じで新しくなってるんですけど
The Dex entry or the typing or anything?
もうちょっと話してもらえますか。
そうですね。今回ロトム図鑑というものがあります。このロトム図鑑ですけども、ポケモンを捕まえる情報をくれたりとか、冒険で
Is
次
this
どこに行けばい
scenery
い
sensor Rotom
と
Dex?
いうことを教えてくれたり、冒険を常にサポートしてくれる図鑑です。
So actually, one of the new things in this game is that we have this item called the Rotom Pokedex, and Rotom kind of inhabits your Pokedex and actually helps you in your adventure. So it'll tell you information about Pokemon that you really want to catch, or give you tips about how to catch Pokemon, and also kind of guide you on your adventure where you should go next, for example. So it serves as a really cool supportive function.
今下画面が黒いんですけど、あそこにロトム図鑑が入ります。
So right here, actually, we're still really early in the game. We don't have the Rotom Pokedex, so the touchscreen is just black on the bottom, but you'll get it later.
And here, actually, this is a great chance. If we just like take a little quick circle around, we can show off not only the trainer's proportions, but also the movement is a little bit different than what folks who played previous Pokemon games have
Kind of
expected.
an awkward
途中
looking
が変わっ
walk
ただけではな
though.
くて、今ちょっと移動のなんていうんですかね、その見た目っていうか、ちょっと
そうですね。
動き方も変わりま
はい
したね。
今回フリーに自由に動けるような仕組みにしてますね。
So yeah, you can move around.
We'll be able to go swim that whole route, huh? That whole bay.
Oh, and we need to tell players what's going on here
これちょっと
when they're seeing the shadow
暗くなるって
come
いうの
in.
はどういう意味
そうですす
なんでか
ね。
ね。
今あそこのキャラクターがこうモンスターボールを投げてるんですけど、あれは
She's all,
ポケモントレーナーです。
Come on.
でポケモン
Come on.
の視線に引っかからないように 上下でこうその緊張感をこう表しています。
So you see
okay,
that,
hand-eye coordination isn't good
lady
today.
over there, the girl throwing a Pokeball up and down, and so she's a Pokemon trainer, and what she's obviously going to try and battle you, but what that kind of shadow that appears on the screen indicates is that there's that she's going to challenge you to a battle. So it kind of increases this sense of tension of you're about to go into a battle, and that indicates that to the player.
So I can either avoid her or actually battle her.
Battle her, come on.
I feel like that moment where people are glaring at each other, ready to fight. But it is really nice if you're in a position where maybe you're trying to get somewhere really quickly, or your Pokemon aren't in great shape right now, you don't want to fight. It's nice to have that second where you can avoid it before you just kind of stumble yourself into a battle.
Your sister is a Caterpie?
Cute.
Yeah, that's right.
I think so we can see here, we're seeing the other trainer as well. And it's really nice, actually, just to get such a good look at the Pokemon proportions alongside their trainers.
今回トレーナー、相手のトレーナーもバトルに出てるんですけれども、やっぱこうサイズ感、ポケモンのサイズ感っていうのが結構伝わりますね。
そうですね。そういうところがやっぱりこうトレーナーがいることによって表現できているっていうのが今回の新しいところですね。
Yeah, it's definitely one of the new things. I think by having the trainers in battle, like you mentioned, it really gives you that sense of scale.
And I think from the experience I've had at the office playing this game, it's really going to surprise people when they take a look at just how big and small certain Pokemon are when they're actually standing right next to them.
And the show is still going to get most of them wrong. So.
あと、トレーナーごとにですね、いろいろこうモーションを工夫してまして、例えばボールの投げ方だったりとか、
モーションの
指示を出す仕草とか、そういったものが細やかに設定されています。
やられちゃったポーズとか、
やられちゃった。
And with the trainers being represented in full 3D this time, they all have unique motions and reactions. For example, how they throw their Pokeball or their reaction when they lose, for example.
アイテム拾いましたね。
Open up the items pocket, just stuffed it in his back pocket.
I think there might be some more folks we can battle up here.
The #1 route on the spectrum.
As we're walking around, I'm hoping folks who are watching are listening with the volume up so they can hear the music in this area. I found it's really great how it feels. It really fits in with the tropical environment.
You're not turning up the volume at all. Oh, it's a little bug design.
All right, Oliver.
Young Goose.
ヤングースですね。
That's another young goose, looks like.
And we can see as Terry's battling here, with how the battle interface is set up, it's really easy to just get super involved in the battle to whatever extent you want to be. You've got all this information at your fingertips. It's not that you have to look at it all, but it's so nice that if there's anything that you need to check on, you can do it so quickly, and you still feel really immersed in the battle.
これやっぱそうですね、バトルのインターフェースでこういろんな情報を今回覚えなくてもいいっていうふうにしてるんですけども、見たいときはタッチ一つでこうやっぱこう情報をすぐに出せるのでやっぱこう便利ですね。
そうですね。やっぱりこうバトルをしていて、こいつどんな状態だったっけ、そういったことはすぐこう出すことは初心者でもこの奥深いバトルにとっつきやすくなるかなと入れました。
So yeah, of course, it really. There's a lot of depth to the battles, but you don't have, for example, beginners, for example, maybe they don't want to, or they won't remember a lot of these different status changes and whatnot, but you can really quickly check on the state.
You know, I realized something horrible about Young Goose.
Goose's painting animation.
Get that sort of hair thing, which I know is a stripe going all the way down its body, but Picky Peck! That's the bird from the preview!
好きポケモンなんですけども、1秒にこう16連打して木を叩くと言われているポケモンですね。
So this is a pick a peck.
I was gonna say, okay, we're gonna get Trump jokes about it, but okay, pick a peck, pick a peck. That's so much better. So much better.
This Pokemon is that it can actually peck 16 times in 1 second, so it's got very fast beat.
16回というのは特徴です。
16回。Particular about the number 16.
It's interesting, yeah, watching its animation as it's got very bird-like movements as it's kind of twitching its head side to side, and I think that the level of detail that you guys have put into all the Pokemon animations in this game is really fantastic.
Frame rate, come on, there we go.
細やかに設定してるという話だったんですけど、キャップわかりますね。これ鳥みたいな感じでしょ。そうですね。首を横に振ったりとか。
Oh no no Terry!
Oh no!
まさかの。
Hopefully one of your new friends is ready to help us out.
Really?
There's a good chance to mention, actually, we did find a Pokeball earlier as we were walking around, and you can find some good items to help you out along the way that can help you heal up your Pokemon and...
まあこの後そうですね
ハイリスク
ちゃんと傷薬とか持ってるのでまあバトルが終わったらちょっと回復できるんじゃないかなと。
まあ捕まってよかった。ドキドキしますねこれ。
We must get wiped out there.
Let's get that. Definitely a good end of that.
High risk to catch them off.
まあ
Well, that's actually your ladybug got a level out of that, though.
まあこれでレベルアップですね。レディバーが。
Almost another one.
ゲームの醍醐味ですね。
Trolls, 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 trolls.
I think one of the things that really makes Pokemon a fun game is kind of like the sense of tension here.
So do we have anything we can
basically
give
what they already
to
told
the-
us.
I think it's time to go to the
Fix 'em
festival.
up.
まあそろそろ
You're ready.
祭りに向かいましょうか。
Oh,
You-
no.
It didn't even get the item, you dingus.
ちょっとこれは逃げよう。あ、ヤングース。
あヤングス出ましたね。
I like the little paint splatters behind the
Yeah. We'll get healed up.
health
We'll get healed
and
up.
name
I
and
think
all
the
of that.
festival, because that's not to give too much away, but there's more fighting in your future.
More fight. この先もバトルが待ってるので、そうです。回復した方がいいんじゃないかっていう。
So actually, as we come into this area here, we're going to be meeting several different characters that are.
Gonna give us the name of a town?
Would you mind just giving us a quick introduction to them
これ
as
ちょ
they
っと
appear?
様々な新しいキャラクターが出てくると思うんですけども、それ
Hala.
で紹介してもらってもいいですか？
It just comes right up to us to tell us this.
到着したんです
Each
けど
island has its
この
own
キャラクター
guardian
のハラと
Pokemon.
いうキャラクターですね。最初にポケモンをくれるというキャラクターで PV にも登場してます。
So this is Hala. I think it's been revealed already in a video that we've released, but it's a really strong trainer on this island, and he's actually the guy who gives you your first partner Pokemon in your adventure.
すごい強いトレーナーです、
He's
ね。
wearing a lab coat around his waist. It's
この子はハウっていうキャラクターです、ね。ニャビを今連れてるんですけど、この後、お祭りで一緒に戦います。
So this is How, and you're about to battle him actually as part of this festival.
oh, that's some awesome.
ククイですね、ポケモン博士です。今回は、技の研究をしているという博士ですね。
And that's Professor Kukui right there in the white lab coat. He's a professor who specializes in researching Pokemon moves, so like their attacks and such.
Yeah, I think based on the fan response I've seen, he is quickly becoming the most dreamy professor. I think for the fans.
Tapu Koko.
博士の中でちょっとイケメンっていう評判が
あとリリエですね、ポケモンのトレーナーではないんですけども、今後も一緒に冒険するキャラクターです。
And that's Lily behind you there. She's the assistant of Professor Kukui, and she's not a Pokemon trainer, but she'll join you on your adventure throughout the story.
And sharp-eyed viewers may have noticed her
回復した。
bag is kind of interesting.
ちょっと彼女が持っている、バッグちょっと気になりますね。カバンの方は。
なんかありましたか今？
Was there something there?
い
Yeah.
や、もうわからない。
ちょっとねさっき動いてたけど、
What's Tapu Koko? Come on, tell us what that is.
まだ言えない。
Gotta keep it a secret right now, unfortunately.
I'm not up on my Hawaiian.
You saw a move. Maybe that's a hint.
Well, I think it's time we go into the festival battle.
ではそろそろ祭りのバトルになりますか。
So I think it's going to be really interesting for fans of the series to see this battle and the space. The way that Pokemon and Pokemon battles are integrated into the culture in these islands is really interesting. And you get these amazing battle spaces where other folks are gathering around and watching you guys fight.
まあこのやっぱこう人間の社会に
Tapu Koko.
ポケモンと
Alright.
ポケモンバトルそのものがこうなんていうんですか社会の一部にあってすごい
Ah, okay,
そのものっていうのがすごく
so he's
伝わりますね。やっぱこういう
Leaders
しっかりしたこうバトルアリーナみたいな感じもできて。
met with a legendary
まあ
already.
今回このお祭りなんですけども、2人の旅立ちを、祝うというか古い儀式になっています。戦った後にこの2人は島を巡る冒険が始まるというストーリーになっています。
So in this particular festival, actually, this is kind of a celebration or a way to kind of kick off both you and Hao's adventures to kind of travel across the island. So it's kind of a ritual in this society.
I am terrified that my computer's gonna overheat.
And folks may have noticed there was another thing we can't really talk about too much, but just to mention Tapu Koko.
そうですね。
Worth paying attention to that name.
とかいろんな気になる単語
そうで
Might
す
be
ね。
important.
今後に期待してください。
Please report more information. I can't really talk too much about it.
And so how about out of Pichu?
あ、
adorable.
可愛いですね。
今度負けないように頑張ってください。
Don't lose this time, Derek.
Leave it to me.
任せてください。
And here we can see
See what he's done for
checking different effects.
そうですね。パラメータがどう変わったかっていうのを今確認してるんですね。
敵の相手方も自分側も両方見えるんで、とても便利ですね。
Yeah, you can see both your status changes as well as the opponent's status changes to really see what's going on in the battle.
So looking at this tropical environment, I'm really hoping that you guys were able to pull off some business trips to some nice tropical locations maybe. I mean, it's for research, it's work. Just have to go.
今回南の国っていう設定なんですけど、
Well, while they're doing this, I'm going to bring up the
素敵な場所に行けたんじゃないでしょうか。
the safety reference to the units.
開
Fun
発
Kukui.
のスタッフでこう実際にハワイに行ってですね、いろいろなモチーフを見たり、デザインにも生かされたりしています。
So yeah,
The bird from the original preview. What the? Demo played on stage. Okay, something weird just happened here. We'll try to refresh that. And I'm actually going to take this downstairs so I can plug it into a fan. Which, you know, I was even thinking, I should totally bring that upstairs for when I record this, just in case. And then I was like, nah, I won't need to. Oh, why do I always think that? Gonna get a brief little tour of the house here. Yes, I'm usually gonna play more like this. The parakeets are still in bed, but you know, it's like here, so they'll have
ただ
been
もう一つちょっと
awake
映
for
像
a
を
while.
持ってきていただいて、はい。
Right, babies? Sounds like my fan in.
そうですっていう理解なんですけど、初めて今回初登場の新しい新モードという
そうですね。
理解です。
ポケモンはやっぱりコミュニケーションツールとして今までこう対戦とか交換とかっていうのをやってきたんですけども、今回はさらにこう新しい形での
I'm back to getting like this frame rate of 0. Well, now I'm not even getting audio. Okay, so far we have Masuda himself, reference to the internet's fondness for Kukui, the bird from the original preview gets revealed, and demo played on stage, plus free space. See, I wrote this, again, I don't know if you can see it, I wrote this with the anticipation of there being an actual stage presentation. You know, like how they usually do. Oh, I hear Athena upstairs. Because of course I do. And it's not giving me the screen display, it's just giving me the YouTube page
how many
here.
Pokemon they've defeated, and also how many Pokemon they have remaining on their team. And whoever has that highest number is the winner of the Battle Royale.
I think it's really interesting what this is going to do for strategy as folks.
Why did it... Jeez, I missed a lot!
Generally speaking, when you're thinking about how you're going to...
I missed a lot here!
Another trainer. It's only a one-on-one situation, so you can look at their Pokemon and say, okay, I've got this Pokemon that's going to be strong against this one, but you're worried about two other opponents here, so you really have to think about who's going to fare best against...
Three other opponents, actually.
Yeah, it's...
そうですね、やっぱこう今までだったらこう
Took me what, 2 minutes to come downstairs?
1対1のポケモンバトル
Look at all I missed.
多分主流だったと思うんですけども、今回はやっぱこう相手3人気にしなきゃいけないっていうのはまあ特徴ですよね。
そうですね。
Please tell me other people it's fucking up for other people as well. I hear you! I hear you! You probably can't, but she's screaming at me from her night cage. Okay, they were supposed to spend half of this talking about Pokemon and half of this talking about Zelda, right?
So yeah, you can actually customize your outfits in this game as well.
So we're just about out of time, but before we wrap up, I was curious now that you've had a chance to see some fan reaction for these games. How's it been seeing how Pokemon fans have reacted for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon?
まあちょっと時間が来てしまいましたけれども、まあ今回の、ポケモンサンムーン発表されてから、多分ファンからの反響というのはあるんですけれども、そのまあ手応えについてお話してもらえますか。
そうですね。今回、7言語から、9言語に中文を、増やしまして、特にその中文使われている人たちからもたくさん反響をいただいてまして、まあ、自分のツイッターとか、いただいてるんですけども、やっぱりこう、まあ、ポケモン20周年ということもあって、ここからさらにこう広がりを見せるために、まあ、非常にこうみんなが喜んでくれて、まあ、とても嬉しいなと思ってます。
So yes, the reaction from everyone has been really great. You know, I get tons of messages and tweets and everything. This being the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, one of the goals we really want to kind of for the future of Pokemon really kind of expand it to even a wider audience. And as I think we've announced previously, in addition to the 7 languages we had in X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, we also added Chinese, simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. And I think a lot of especially from those regions, like fans have really been kind of excited about it and sending me lots of great messages.
And is there anything final that you'd like to wrap up and say to fans who are watching the stream right now?
ちょっと最後にまあファンに向けてのメッセージということで何かありますか？
そうですね。もう今までにないチャレンジをこのソフトはサンとムーンはしているので、皆さんすごい楽しみに待っててください。
So yeah, I think Sun and Moon, we're really doing a lot of new challenges for us here as Game Freak. So I hope everyone really just look forward to the games.
Well, thank you.
まあ自分も完全新作としてのディレクター初めてだったんで、まあ、たくさんの苦労があったんですけども、その甲斐があってすごいいいゲームができたので期待しててください。
So there was a lot of challenges for me, especially as it's the first time directing an entirely new generation of Pokemon at Game Freak. But I think we've really brought the game together. It's really turned into something fantastic, and I hope fans really look forward to it.
I know I'm definitely looking forward to it. And thank you so much for joining us and giving us some insight into the development work here. Folks watching again, that was Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, which are coming out for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems this November, so you don't have to wait too much longer. And please don't go anywhere. In a few moments, we're actually going to be coming back. Aonuma-san is going to be stopping by to show us some gameplay for a game you might be thinking about, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Oh, I think I'm going to end this one for right now. It's kind of been a little disaster. Nintendo Treehouse Live. Oh, tomorrow again? That's funny. Square Enix all 3 days? Really? What the heck is Giant Bomb? I have no idea. Okay, well, that was fun. We got the new bird. We got an entirely new Pokemon. I just really, really, really wish that we got halfway decent internet. I will see y'all later.